Well, I was actually at home, and bless you, and or gesundheit, and a friend of both mine and Phil's, his name is Big Charlie, who's not with us any longer, called me up and said something really serious has happened. Phil, she's had a heart attack. I said, really? He said, well, listen, give me the hotel name and I'll come straight down. He said, no, they're only letting family in. I said, well, okay. He said, but I'll keep you updated. So I was down in my basement, just kind of trying to keep busy, cleaning things out. And I heard the phone ring, and I heard my wife and her response. Oh my God, that kind of thing. And right then and there, I knew he was dead. So I was pretty shattered on the spot, to hear that. And then of course she came and told me, and it became real at that point. It's a terrible day.
30 years ago, and you still have the feelings about it.
Well, when you've got a friend like that, that kind of meant everything to you, and he gave you the opportunity to be able to sit here and talk with you, and to travel around the world and play music and write songs and record albums. Yeah, you don't forget somebody like that. You get to meet. Very few people get to meet a personality like Phil Lynott even once in their life. And I was lucky enough to be one of those guys to actually hang out with him, write music with him. We kind of did everything together, right? But he was that one guy.
Yeah. So when was the last time you saw him?
I saw him 3 weeks before he died. I went over to his house. I'd been doing some recording in Los Angeles, and I hadn't seen Phil like a year because I'd taken me a while to get myself back together because I was having problems myself. But I did these recordings in LA, and I really wanted to see Phil again. I wanted to have him listen to this music, see what he thought, and just see him again. And when I got to his house, he opened the door, and he did not look good. He looked terrible. But at that point, he was the one that said, we should really get back together again and start writing some more music, write more songs, and put Lizzy back out on the road, put it back together, go out on the road, And I kind of gave him that look of, you got to be healthy to get out there and do this thing. It's not an easy thing. And I think he saw that look on my face, and he was, something? I'm going to get better. I'm going to get off of this crap. I'm going to get healthy, and at that point we can go out and do this. And I said, yeah, absolutely, no kidding. And when I walked out to his house that day, it really did feel like he meant it. That he really wanted to get healthy. After looking at me and I was all healthy and all that, I think he wanted the same thing. But unfortunately, by that point, it was just too late. Too many things had gone wrong internally. So.
Did you see it coming?
No, and I don't think anybody did. Phil, I always describe Phil as the Iron Man of rock and roll. He could do more anything. Stay up more nights, drink more of this, take more of that, be with more women. He was that guy. And it never seemed to really put him off his game. Any of that. Yeah, the only other time that something of that ilk happened was when he got hepatitis. Yeah. And so that kind of fried his liver pretty good, right? So he actually stayed off alcohol for a year, which was great for Phil.
Was that during Johnny the Fox or?
It probably
before
was.
Paris, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But the problem with him being off alcohol for a year, every morning we get in the car and he'd tell us what we did the night before. Shut up, Phil.
So. Were there truly any plans for a Thin Lizzy reunion, or was it just you and him talking that last time?
At that point, it was just conversation, because we knew that you had to get healthy. Yeah. You got to be healthy to be out here. There's too much traveling. There's too much, importance on when you get up on stage. People are going to see it. Yeah. And you got to look the business when you're up there, and you got to be able to pull off the business once you're on the stage. Right? And he knew that. He'd been doing this a long time. Right? So he knew that that he had to get healthy. So, but like I say, it was at this point it was purely just the talking stages.
Okay.
You know, we were just entering that. So.
No talking about a sideman to you.
No, it was purely let's start writing songs again together.
Are you in contact with his mother and his daughters too?
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fans, I think, a lot of all of the guys I know wonder what happened to Sarah and Cathleen.
Well, they got married and had kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Phil could be a grandfather.
He absolutely could have.
So how many kids?
Well, I think Kathleen. I know Kathleen has two, and I know Sarah for sure has one. I mean, she might have had another one at this point, right? So he would have had a great Christmases at this point with all the grandkids all around him, you know. So and I think he would have loved that because he loved his kids, like you would believe. Oh, you know, that's not a question for me to answer. You're going to have to ask somebody else that, because it's the impact on those people, you know, not on me. No. So that'd be a question for you know, one of the fans.
30 years on, we're still talking about them.
Yeah, well, that's. I think with me, I thought at the time that when we all walked away from Thin Lizzy, I was pretty sure what was going to happen was we'd probably get 5 years out of it. People still talking about us. Probably, you know, every once in a while the DJ will pull out a record and blow the dust up and play this one, you know. But that it never happened, you know. It just the radio stations kept playing the records all these years. You know, the fans kept buying them. Articles kept being written about us, and I've been doing interviews ever since then. And so my 5-year prediction never came off. You know, thank God, you know. But it's really the Thin Lizzy fans that kept it going, and you know their kids. You know, they're because dads would tell their
My
sons.
kids too, yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so it's a sort of a perpetuation kind of thing. We see a lot of dads with their kids down there, and they got the Lizzy T-shirts and all that. So that's pretty cool.
What was it that he was so good at?
Phil?
Yeah.
Well, one of the main things he was good at was communication.
Yeah.
Right. Just to give you an example, we'd be doing Hammersmith Odeon 5 nights in a row, and he could turn, and that holds between what 3,000 and 5,000, something like that. And he could literally turn that place into a small club and really make it really intimate, right, and bring everybody in, which not every front man can do. You know, they get kind of overawed with the bigness of it all, the event of it all. But Phil, he could just bring everybody in, you know, make contact with everybody, or everybody you could see made contact with him, right? So,
I once had a contact. I saw him 4 times, I think. The 10th row was up there. I just did that like that, and then he did like that to me. He had his eyes open.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. He loved the contact with everybody. Well, you know, when I first joined Thin Lizzy, I thought I could write a song. You know, hell yeah, I can write songs, no problem. And I could do this and I could do that. You know, but when I finally got teamed up with Phil, I realized I really didn't know how to write a song, at least in the proper way, right? In the commercial sense or the meaningful way. And just through sitting down and you know, talking with him and playing guitar with him and listening to his lyrics and all that, and how things were pieced together. You know, he taught me how to do that. It wasn't just me. Everybody around him, you know, kind of learned from Phil. Now, where he learned this from, I have no idea. You know, I think he was just one of those kind of natural guys that it feels right to do it this way, and it feels right to do it that way. Anyway.